Today on The Social. Bond-themed birthday backlash. Kris Jenner's 70th has been called the party of all parties. But why is the celebrity guest list under fire? And after nearly 3 decades, Canada has lost its measles elimination status due to its failure to curb a year-long outbreak. We discuss what this means for Canadians and public health. Then we're unpacking the hub and spoke travel trend, how making one city your home base could help your getaway really take off. Plus, secrets to sparking connections without short-circuiting your confidence. The do's and don'ts of networking. It all starts now on The Social.
Y'all made it through the snow, so thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. You know him and you love him. Comedian Colin Mochrie is our guest today.
Thank you. So nice to be here.
It's great to have you here.
Well, as you know, I grew up watching you guys, so it's just such a big thrill.
That was good.
Me.
Oh, gosh. You know, can we restart the show and maybe... No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for that, Colin.
You're welcome.
Okay, as we do all know, everybody, today is Remembrance Day, and we want to make sure we take this moment to reflect on the courage and the sacrifice of all of those who fought for the freedoms that we cherish and enjoy, quite frankly, today. And for those who continue to serve and keep our country safe, all we have to say is, we thank you. Thank you. Okay, well, from that to this nonsense, perhaps, you have probably seen the ultra-glamorous photos of Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party all over the internet. This just went down. Well, the James Bond-themed bash was held at Jeff Bezos' and Lauren Sanchez's $165 million Beverly Hills mansion. It drew A-list guests like Oprah, Beyonce, Mariah Carey, Justin Bieber, and the list goes on and on and on. And a lot of these stars, though, they are taking a bit of heat for going to this party because I guess some people say this is an over-the-top display of wealth. Maybe a little tone-deaf in America right now. So, question is, Colin, are you judging the celebs who went to the party?
Well, I mean, I turned down the invitation. You know, it's a fine line, because if you have money, you should be allowed to spend it however you want. But it is a time that it is a little tone deaf. If it was that party, but still a portion of money went to
charity.
people and charities, so that there was, yes, we're having fun, but we're also...
this altruistic element almost.
Yeah, try that, rich people.
Yeah.
It just seems that it just divides the country a little more and the classes a little more.
Yeah, it feels out of touch. Yeah, I was judging a little bit. Like, it feels very Great Gatsby, like sort of like a display of excess at this time, as you're saying, of great wealth. And it's almost as if a lot of the celebrities knew that this was going to be potentially not great for their image, because I don't know if you saw, like, Adele was there, and she basically, the picture of her was like this.
Wow.
And then there's rumors now, people had noticed that Kim Kardashian had put a bunch of photos up, and there was a photo in there of Meghan Markle and with Harry in the background, and somehow it's gone away.
Oh,
so we don't know
disappeared.
who asked for it to be removed or if she removed it, but I think some people are getting some heat, and I understand why. What do you think?
See, well, I understand why, but for the wrong reasons, not for the nice reasons that you two are talking about. Just because, like, seeing someone like Beyonce and Harry and Meghan at at Kris's birthday party. It's like seeing the Pope at Coachella. Like, it's just like, there's just a disconnect, and I can't make it make sense. But I'm not judging them in a sense because I would go. I didn't get an invite, but I would go. It would be like this anthropological sort of assignment. You've got this ecosystem of billionaires, celebrities, reality TV stars just in the wild. I would just want to watch them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And maybe someone, that's why Beyonce, Harry, and Meghan, like, it's like, well, you don't need to watch them like it's a school assignment. You kind of live it, you know it. But some, you know, it's like, why would you go?
I think here's the thing. I think two things come to mind. Rich people have always loved to have these parties and be around other rich people since the beginning of time, but there just wasn't always social media for us to see it.
Right.
So we're witnessing it. It's almost like we were at the party, but rich people have always done this. Marie Antoinette, if there was social media in France.
Her head would have got cut off a
It
lot
sure
earlier.
would. My point is, the rich people have always been doing this. But the other part about, like, why does a Beyonce have to be there for Kris Jenner? Because it feels like the natural order of Hollywood is off if Beyonce and Jay-Z are there for Kris Jenner. But this reminds me that rich people always want to be famous, and famous people always want to be rich. And do you know that Kris Jenner and the Kardashian clan and hooking up with the Bezoses, with Lauren now, this is a perfect marriage of Hollywood. I also did not get an invite, but if I had, I would have also gone. It is anthropological. This is wealth that we could never even imagine.
But they didn't allow cell phones at the party.
No.
Correct.
There were no cell
Correct.
phones.
For us to watch.
But isn't it like the apex of everything that is wrong with America right now?
Yes.
Like, this is where I do think that, like, for as much as I agree, like, if I got an invite, it would be like, oh, well, I kind of want to just see there. Like, I think anyone would be curious about what something like that is like.
I would love to get an invite just to say, I just wanted to see what was happening.
That's right. I wanted to taste. I just wanted to taste some of the food.
Yeah.
The food that was probably not being eaten by half those people. But anyway, that's another story. But I do feel like there's this aspiration in America that anyone can become a billionaire. And I guess there's the argument being made increasingly, should we even have, is it ethical to be a billionaire in today's world? And if we're holding this up as something that's kind of aspirational, then we've got kind of this eternal problem where the billionaires are causing half of the, if not more, of the problems on this earth right now. So we need to square up this idea of, like,
we have to square that up, but we also have to square up something that happens even in elementary school and high school. There's always the cliques, and this just happens to be the clan of the cool kids.
Oh, but are they cool?
No,
I don't know.
I'm not
so
saying that they are for me.
depressing.
No, I'm
Right.
not saying this for me. Put yourself, if you are a B-list or a C-list celebrity in Hollywood and you didn't get an invite, you're going to be like, oh, one day I'm going to become friends with them and I'm going to ascend. That happens in high school.
You raise an interesting point. I'm interested in people who didn't go, not necessarily who didn't get an invite, but like Taylor Swift wasn't there, as far as I know. Like, did she choose not to go, or did she? Anyways, that's a whole other
We're going to move
story.
on to something far more important. This is a bit of false advertising. British chain Marks and Spencer has launched the male equivalent of the push-up bra. Secret support underpants that offer a subtle lift, a subtle enhanced fit.
Oh, look at that!
So, that's interesting.
Wow.
Wow. Colin,
Who's going to talk about this?
over to you, sir. What do you think? Do you see the appeal?
You know, you get to a certain age, and you get tired of your testicles hitting your knees every day. So, support is important. And, you know, it's not something that's really talked about. I mean, women's underwear has gotten a lot of press. There's no Victor's Secret.
Nope.
But it's maybe there should be a Victor's Secret. But it is very important. Right now, I'm wearing a brand that is supporting my little Abbott and Costello, and everything is comfortable. I feel comfortable. I feel safe. You know, that's a big, being able to go out with confidence and not thinking about.
Not trip.
Yes.
Like, what did I just step on? Oh, God.
No, you flatter me, but but yeah, I think it's great, and I wish more stores would put more thought into
Men's underwear.
men's underwear.
Sure.
For you, it's more about support and less the enhancement part. It's not like the push-up bra. It's more like a bra just so you don't get a rash or it's the support aspect.
Yeah, it's a support. For me, it's a support. I'm not, at this point, I'm not looking to impress anyone. I'm happily married to Deb. She loves me. She knows what's in her little package. So, sorry, hon.
It's these, what I'm interested in is the fact that this sounds like something that you might be able to tell, let's say, in day-to-day clothing, which is not the case, I don't think, right? Because that actually then becomes more the equivalent. Bras, when women wear tighter clothes, you can tell almost what kind of a bra she's wearing, and this impacts her ability to exist in the world, the way that she's treated. Is she taken seriously in the boardroom? If we're seeing like cleavage, all these things come into play. And men still...
Is that a thing?
Of course it's a thing.
No, I'm saying when you look at a guy, you say...
Well, but you can't see on guys.
Well, exactly.
If they wore super tight pants that showed their package, yes, I would. Would you look? Yeah. You would look.
Yeah.
They're like,
you can't help it.
Wow. Well, didn't know that's where this convo was going to go, but I like it, actually. It's a little equality on the show.
Exactly.
Welcome to The Social. We are equal opportunity, what's the word? Objectifiers is what we are. Okay, let's take a quick break, everybody. So after the break, a really serious question. How did we lose our measles elimination status? This feels like we got an F on a report card, and I don't like it, but we're going to try to make some sense of this worrisome development. How did we get here? What do we do to get out after this?
This week on The Social, supermodel Coco Rocha struts into our studio with details tailored for fashion lovers ahead of the Project Runway Canada premiere.
We're back, everybody. We want you to chime in on the conversations happening here, so get us on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we are on TikTok.
So Canada is no longer considered measles-free. After 27 years, the Pan American Health Organization took away our status for failing to prevent the transmission of the virus, which began over a year ago. As of the end of October, more than 5,000 measles cases and 2 deaths were recorded, and most of those infections were in Alberta and Ontario. So Colin, how are you taking in this news?
Really disappointed, very disappointed. And I don't understand in this world today how it became science is a bad thing and is less than your opinion. It's like if I feel I can get away with this and be fine, as opposed to all the facts that are coming my way, it's insane. It's like, if it looks like a duck and it sounds like a duck, it's a sandwich. That's what it feels like with people. They're not listening.
How did we get here? What do you think caused this mistrust of science?
It really sort of peaked, I think, during COVID. People started feeling conspiracies start, and that sort of builds steam, and people are losing confidence in doctors and in the media, and it's just a fragile ecosystem right now, and anything that will make you feel better about yourself and not necessarily go with the flow, it seems to be that's what people are jumping on.
I like that you said it peaked during the pandemic, and I completely agree. But there were little hints of it sort of percolating before. In 2013 was when we first started sort of hearing about this anti-vaccination crowd. And there was a 2014 study that I've cited before that took my breath away when I first read it, that found that the more someone believed in conspiracy theories, the more likely they were to take vitamins and supplements, and the less likely they were to wear sunscreen or get a flu shot. And I think within that study, there's this very sort of evidence of that ecosystem of which you're speaking. Like, that is how it sort of starts. And then I think it grows, it blossoms into what we have now. And it's not only disappointing, it's scary. It's very scary.
I say that because we are of the generation where we probably all were born and got the MMR, which is the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine. We're doing okay. think we're okay. We're up here. We're looking good. There has been a shift.
It's the greatest innovation in human history.
In human
the
history.
vaccine.
So the question is, at what point did people start to distrust that and why? And I think that's where you can get really interesting. Sure, the COVID vaccine, there's been a ripple effect because when we were all stuck at home, a lot of people did actually get backlogged legitimately with getting vaccines for their kids and everything because we weren't going to the doctor. So everybody got off schedule. So that started that. But then when we got off schedule, we weren't seeing each other, but we were reading this. And then to your point about conspiracy theories and anything that was already percolating about anti-vax, anti-science, there's a conspiracy, where did this virus even come from? Then all of a sudden, I think this thing took a different flavor. Anti-vax wasn't just like, I don't know about the science. It became an identity thing. And I think when your identity is, I'm not going with the flow, you can't tell me what to do. And I think something took on a life of its own that you are almost like a rebel if you stand up to science. And yet the measles in particular is something that our generation maybe saw, but the younger generation, and I think a lot of anti-vaxxers never saw or have forgotten what the measles can do to a young child's body. The same thing with polio. We have all these things. We're living too soft of a life that we forget how hard life was before vaccines.
I was actually flabbergasted and embarrassed, and I don't like shame as a thing, but I feel a little bit of collective shame for us when I read that in July, Alberta reported more cases than the entire United States. Just let that sink in for a moment. The question is why given everything you've said, which makes so much sense, why is this spreading so much more rapidly in Canada than in the United States? At least, like that to me, I can't wrap my brain around part of it.
Did you read the New York Times did an investigation that discovered as measles was spreading and gaining traction last year, provincial politicians stopped public health offices from speaking out about the value of vaccinations. And Daniel Smith called Alberta's unvaccinated the most discriminated against group.
The most discriminated against group.
Yeah.
Again, just let that sink in for a moment. Like I think it's so important overall to know that this is a problem globally, but we wear a big part of this ourselves. Now, this massive outbreak, I do think it's interesting to know it is traced back to late 2024. There was an individual who contracted measles at a large Mennonite gathering in New Brunswick, brought it back to Ontario. It spread like wildfire. That's not to say that all Mennonites are anti-vaxxers. They aren't. They're not a monolith. But that was a piece of this that we do have to take into consideration that helped it spread. And then it's this kind of connection between the large amount of people who've become anti-vaxxers. So I think that we need to have some serious conversations. Public health needs to get involved right away.
Well, I think we should start funding public health appropriately. We need major campaigns now.
Yeah. There's also
majors
step out of the way to allow that to happen.
But there's systemic problems too, and we don't have time to get into it. Hopefully we'll talk about this more again. But I'll just say as a mother, my son has been vaccinated. And one of the things, thank you, like all of the vaccines and constantly. But one thing I've noticed is that, like, for example, recently I got a message from Toronto Public Health School saying, can you confirm his vaccinations? And I'm like, he's been going to school. Why am I confirming this now? He's 12 years old. So I had assumed that there was a system whereby my doctor would be speaking to public health to notify. So when you think about the implications of that, if my son's been going to school freely, he is vaccinated, but maybe some aren't. Or maybe you've got people who don't know the systems and they haven't had the time to input this data. Yep. There's a problem also with systems here that needs to be addressed. Big time.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
We ain't got no time for pseudoscience, okay? We ain't got no time for it.
I really miss talking about underwear.
Up next, everybody. A woman is really, really angry that her husband rejected a lower paying job when she's actually working overtime to support both of them right now. So who's in the wrong? We're gonna debate. We'll give you the juicy details after this. This story is going to get you riled up. Okay, so a woman posted on Reddit feeling resentful that her out-of-work husband turned down a job because it paid $30,000 less than his former salary. She writes that she has been working overtime to support both of them, and that she says he should take that into consideration. Colin, should he have taken the job?
Well, yeah. I'm trying to read the audience here. I do believe he should have taken the job. You know, when you're married, part of it, you're a partnership and you're working together. 6 months after we were married, Deb looked me straight in the eyes, very serious, and said, "I thought you'd be easier to change." And I did. I did. But part of it was I was kind of hanging on to the old life, and I wasn't pulling my weight in the marriage. And now it's like I'm the best husband ever. But it was a learning experience, and being there, she, you know, I do all the laundry, I do all the cooking. She does everything else.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, she takes care of Christmas, every birthday card, and everything. And part of this, when we first together, she was the one who was working. I was an improviser out of work. What are the odds? So my job was to take care of our child and the house and pick up the slack, and that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yes, to me, this story, that's beautiful. To me, this says one thing. He's putting ego over empathy.
Yeah.
And this is why we know, you know this, that the majority of marriages that break up, it's over money. But it's over dumb guys like this sometimes. You get into a marriage as a partnership, and the fact is, I think he's letting his ego run the show. And also, how can you not see that she is struggling financially? They're struggling financially. She says she comes home and she is wiped. She's making $19 an hour to try to support both of them.
Yes.
And he's turning down a job. It's $30,000 less than my $90,000
He's
job.
not only just turning down the job, he's not picking up the slack like you did.
Yeah.
He's not cleaning. She's still coming home after working 16-hour shift in some cases and making dinner.
No, he sounds like, I mean, lose this guy. In this situation, obviously, there's one answer to this.
Yeah.
Having
Divorce.
said that, well, I don't know. She's, you know, make him take this job. But I think there is a scenario whereby I definitely have been in this situation. I'll just say where Jason, for example, he works freelance, and he's a director of photography, so he does camera work, and his passion is working in film and episodic television, and that's what he does. But oftentimes he would get offers for jobs for like a reality show or a documentary, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. And he had to explain to me at one point, he's like, if I keep taking those jobs, I won't be considered for these other kinds of jobs because they'll see me as this type of a worker.
Yeah.
And so it was actually a really, really thoughtful, and like it wasn't like he was trying to shirk duties, but I do think there's a world in which there can be choice made as long as you're not struggling and as long as one person's not pulling the full weight.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We talked to you about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You talked
There's
about
no
it.
way she is not going to feel resentment at some point if she's not already feeling it. And yeah.
She's got one foot out the door.
Yeah.
Do you know that my partner Simon has been, he's a screenwriter, you know, they're high in demand right now. And he's been without a job for, I'd say, 9 months. And he has been applying for jobs, several jobs, he's gotten one call back. And then now he's at that stage where he's like, okay, do I take a retail job? There's nothing against retail, but that's not where he thought he would be at 42. And it's doing a lot to his mind. And I'm actually the one who has said, no, don't take the job. And it's because I don't know if, obviously I want him to find gainful employment, but what that little extra money could bring to our family, I think what we would lose, which is selfishly a clean home. I come home to dinner, everything's taken care of. And for like that little, like we're getting by, we're, you know, everything, the credit card's getting paid. So right now everything's okay. But for that extra whatever little bit of month and what it would do to his self-esteem.
Cost benefit.
Yeah.
Cost benefit.
Yeah.
It's benefiting you very nicely right now. Very nicely. I love that for you. I love that for you. So, Colin, speaking of work, you are working, and you're about to kick off your two-man show called Asking for Trouble. You're doing this with fellow, I love it, fellow improviser Brad Sherwood, and you and Brad, you improvise new material from audience suggestions and participation every single night. There is no script to this show, which for people like us makes us go, what? So is it ever terrifying to walk out there that you don't actually have a plan for your show every night?
It is the most, well, I'm going to need help here, but it's the most relaxed I am in my life. To be able to go out on stage with, in front of a paying audience who expect a show that we don't have, I'm so relaxed because I'm with someone I trust. I know what's going to happen. It's going to work out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That is so exciting. Congratulations, and thank you for being back with us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Thank
It's
you.
always lovely.
Thank you. All right, Colin Mochrie and Brad Sherwood are bringing their acclaimed two-man show, Asking for Trouble, to Canada. 5 shows only. Victoria, BC on Thursday, November the 20th. That's where it kicks off. If you'd like more information, go to colinandradshow.com. There it is. colinandradshow.com. All right, let's take a break, everybody, and then our travel expert, Jennifer Weatherhead, breaks down what she calls hub and spoke travel trend. Okay, we'll inform you after this.
Welcome back. Have you ever wanted to make your connecting flight last longer in a city you're flying into? Or what about exploring locations that are just outside some of the most popular tourist destination spots?
Yeah, great question. So our next guest has the answer for your next vacation, and it is called Hub and Spoke Travel. Let's learn more. Welcome back to the show, travel expert Jennifer Weatherhead.
Thank you.
Okay, hub and spoke travel. What does that mean to you exactly?
So we usually refer to that when we're talking about airports, right? It's a hub airport where you can fly to many, many places. But I'm taking that concept and applying it to either cities or destinations. So you're gonna stay in one spot, make that your central hub, and then you're gonna do day trips or a couple of days to other different destinations. Perfect for people who don't like to sit still, wanna see as much as possible. Maybe you've already been to that destination, you wanna see some different things. Or for group travel, it's really great because then people can go off and do their own separate thing. Different spokes for different types of opinions.
Different
spokes
spokes
for different
folks. But you're always coming back to the same place.
Yes, exactly.
And I love that so much. So let's get to our first destination, our first city. And you say that Lausanne in Switzerland makes for a good hub. Why is that?
Switzerland is great in general because they have such incredible public transportation. So trains and buses, they make it really easy, but you can also rent a car if you want to. I love Lausanne because it's in the Vaud region, the French-speaking region. It's the perfect size city, not too big, not too small, so you can kind of explore things. You can do a little chocolate trail if you want to. You can see all the sights, do a food tour, and then you're also can stay at a place called the Hotel Savoy, or the Royal Savoy. So this is right next to a train station, so it will make it super easy for you to get from place to place. And you also happen to be right next to the wine region in Switzerland. So our first spoke is actually going to be going off to a place where maybe you're going to be sipping on wine, but you're going to relax. So this is the Vallée de Joux, and it's a beautiful spot, rolling hills. There's the Lac de Joux here. If you want to really just kind of pause time, you can stay at the Hotel de Holliger. So this is a watchmaker's hotel where they like you to pause and kind of think and reflect while you're there. You can rent some e-bikes from them. You can cycle along the lake, and you can wake up to cowbells every morning if you want. So good spot to kind of kick off your trip and relax. Another spoke, we can go to an area called Cully, and this is known as the Swiss wine region. So it's in Lavaux. It's a UNESCO heritage site because all of these terraced vineyards are protected. And a little fun fact is that only 1% of Swiss wine is exported. So whatever you're drinking here, you know it's kind of a one-of-a-kind thing. I suggest getting the Chesla because it is their perfect white wine. So you'll be able to visit a few different wineries in this region. And then for the third spoke, we're gonna go do a little bit more adventure, a little bit of wine, and this is in the Nord de Bordeaux region. And you can, again, visit some wineries and vineyards. You can also learn how oak barrels are made in this area, kind of get a little education, and then you can spend the afternoon truffle hunting.
Oh my
So this is one of the best regions in Switzerland for truffle hunting.
That sounds
That's
incredible.
amazing. Okay, we're going to switch to another hub. I spent some time this summer on the east coast of Canada in Prince Edward Island for our show open, as people have seen. And it was so wonderful. We didn't make it to Halifax, but I love Halifax, and you name it as a really great hub city.
Yeah, so it's kind of the East Coast capital, and I have to preface this by saying that I grew up in Nova Scotia, so I have a soft spot for all of these regions, but Halifax really is the perfect, hub for exploring the entire province. So you can stay at the Muir Hotel, it's right downtown. You can walk to the historic properties to see that beautiful section. You can go to museums, Pier 21, bar hop easily, and then you can also dine in some incredible spots. Your first spoke, I don't think you can go to Nova Scotia and not see some lighthouses. So we're going to go on the lighthouse route from Halifax to Peggy's Cove and then all the way down to Lunenburg. So you can see, if you're a lighthouse enthusiast, up to over 40 different lighthouses on this route. But I think if you just hit up Peggy's Cove, the most iconic one, you'll be pretty good on that front. Another great spoke is to actually go to someplace very close to where I grew up. It's called Knoll Shore. And this is where the Bay of Fundy is. So you can actually walk on the ocean floor. During the summer, you can dine on the ocean floor. It's the world's highest tides are here. But what's best is that you can do some whitewater rafting on the Shubenacadie River. It's the only place in the world where you can do this twice a day, every single day of the year. Wow. You're gonna get wet, but it's totally fine. Just be prepared. You can cozy up at your hotel later. And then the final spoke going from Halifax would be going along the eastern shore. So this will take you to Fisherman's Cove, kind of an iconic spot in Nova Scotia, Musquodoboit Harbor, and then Lawrencetown Beach, which is where Nova Scotians love to go in the summer, and they love to surf. So
surfing in Nova Scotia.
I know. Wear your wetsuit. It's always cold. It doesn't matter what time of year. But this is a really great spot that Nova Scotians love.
We love that. Okay, let's move on to our next hub. It is Guernsey in the Channel Islands. What is this place?
Okay, so a lot of people might not know about this little group of Channel Islands, and it's right in between England and France in the English Channel. A little collection of islands here, and there's some of the most charming and unique islands, I think, in the world. Some of the most beautiful as well. So Guernsey is going to be the hub, and it's a really quite adorable and charming little island. If you're familiar with the book, The Potato Peel Pie Society, it was based here. So it has a lot of history. Victor Hugo also lived here for a while and was inspired to do a lot of writing when he was here as well. But it's a perfect spot for you to then take ferries or short little island plane rides to other places. So first spoke will be the island of Jersey. So it's kind of the metropolitan hub, I would say, of the Channel Islands. But you can still do lots of great outdoor activities while you're there. They have a castle. You can do some cycling while you're there. You could spend a couple of days here if you wanted, or just do the day trip. The next spoke is probably one of my favorite islands ever in the world. It's called Sark. You take a little ferry ride over to it. They don't have any cars on this island. They have about 400 people who live here. So when you get off the ferry, you're going to get in a wagon on a tractor, and they're gonna drive you up to the top where you'll get a bike or a horse and buggy to take you around the island. You can do some hiking. You can stop by some local bakeries while you're here. And then the final spoke from here is another island called Alderney. So this is really perfect for history buffs because the Channel Islands were actually occupied by the Germans during the war. So there are tons of German fortifications here that you could go and visit. So it's a great spot for someone who's really into history to spend a day.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Listen, our next hub is Hong Kong. We've got about a minute left, but I feel like this is such an interesting hub. Take it away.
Yes, so I picked this because it's hard to navigate a huge city sometimes, but you can still do it if you apply this hub and spoke angle. So you're gonna wanna plant yourself at the Shangri-La Hotel. I mean, why not? It's on Hong Kong Island. It's very centrally located. Wow. It will take you easy to get to all the different places because it's next to a train station. The closest spoke is going to be Central. So this area is known for the rooftop bars, the incredible dining, Michelin star dining. You can go to Victoria Peak. There's a tram that will take you up there for those viewpoints. The next spoke is going to be across the harbor to Kowloon. Okay. And this is where you're kind of gonna see the real side of Hong Kong. We have lots of markets here. We have a ladies market where they sell lots of ladies fashion and stuff, but anyone can go because they also have a men's market. Anyone can go, but they sell lots and lots of different kind of gadgets while they're there. And then finally, for the third spoke, you're gonna go to a place called Sai Kung, and it's kind of the nature side of Hong Kong, where you can visit one of their 200 islands. You can spend a day on a beach and relax.
Oh my goodness. Jennifer, thank you so much for all this great information. Such a great concept. Oh my goodness. All of us want to go travel now. So good. Up next, the do's and don'ts of networking. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. It is a tough job market out there right now, but the idea of putting yourself out there and networking can feel pretty daunting, even for the best of us.
So here to make the process a bit less painful by walking us through the do's and don'ts of networking is career coach Emily Durham. Emily, welcome back to the social.
Thank you for having me. We're gonna get to networking.
No, I gotta start off by being a little bit honest. Like, the idea of networking makes me want to barf, but we're professional. It makes me very uncomfortable. I do not like the idea of it. So in today's job market, how important is it to do it?
Let's get our barf bags, my friends. I have really bad news. So if this was 4 years ago, I would have told you networking is pretty important, but we can probably get away without doing it. Because we have so many more job seekers than jobs available right now, it unfortunately is a game of who you know. And if you don't naturally know anyone, my daddy's not a CEO, you gotta get out there and network. Now, if it's making you sick, it's usually for one of two reasons. Either you're not seeing results, and that's a very natural feeling, or it feels really icky and transactional and like you're being a phony and a fake, to which I say, who cares, right?
Wow, okay.
You know what I mean? It's okay. Let's sit in that feeling of it being not super authentic, focus on it being as relationship oriented as possible, but also live in the reality that we all gotta get paid, and if this is the game we have to play, then let's play.
Wow.
Let's play. Yeah. Who cares?
Okay.
Lean in, Jess.
A lot of like people would say one of the toughest parts of networking is, like, let's say you're at an event and you see someone, it's like a target, a person you want to make a connection with. You go up, you introduce yourself, you shake that hand, and then what? Like, you want to make it a good impression right off the bat. So what's the right thing to do or say?
So let's first alleviate the pressure, right? So there is no perfect thing to say, and the reality is people don't like you for you saying the right thing. They like you for how you make them feel about themselves. So if you anchor the conversation in how do I make this person feel seen and validated, even if they are so much more senior than you, that's okay. So I like to have a little three-tiered approach. We start off with a really good introduction. Hey, I'm Emily, this is what I do, who are you? A couple of open-ended questions, fabulous shoes, where did you get them? Did you like that networking session? And then a call to action. I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. Are you open to grabbing a coffee next week? If you follow that structure and stay warm, A, it's gonna feel less icky, and B, you're gonna get those results.
Ooh, I just did this yesterday. Every single one of those points.
Did it work?
It works.
It worked like a charm.
You just need the formula. It works.
Let's do the formula.
Yes.
Well, why don't we throw some scenarios at you, okay, Emily? And so we're going to go through these scenarios. You're going to tell us the do's and don'ts to put, how we can manage these events, okay? So here we go. First up, career fairs. Do we or don't we need to put our energy into going to career fairs?
Might be a hot take. I say don't. The reason I say don't is, again, too many job seekers, not enough jobs available. You are going to be one of thousands of job seekers amongst, 100 employers? Bad use of time. In my opinion, let's focus on industry events. So look at the couple of companies that you're interested in. You'd be surprised how many now are doing in-house events. Tech, especially in Toronto. Consulting, lots of networking mixers. Let's go there. Smaller scale. Big events, thing of the past.
Okay.
Let's say you do get into the room and you meet someone. It can be nerve-wracking to know when and how to approach that someone, right? So any tips on getting the timing and like the style, the finesse?
I love the suave that we're bringing to the
Presumably
conversation.
don't do that.
A little shimmy in. Just make sure HR's not there. I'm kidding, mostly. I would say let's look for body language cues. So if people have really open body language, their eyes are kind of going all over the place, usually a sign they're inviting someone new into the mix. But oftentimes, especially when we're nervous, that's really hard to read. Nothing nothing wrong with you going up to someone and saying, hey, sorry to interrupt. How did you find that session? Sorry to interrupt. How did you find this? If you get the vibe that they're open and warm, you stay. If not, we exit stage left. But if you're a nervous Nelly like myself, bring a +1. There is nothing wrong with you bringing a friend to that networking event, and it just gives you a little bit more of a buffer.
Okay. So next up, AI. Is this something that we do or don't want to lean on while networking?
I say we do, but carefully, okay? Yeah. I've seen people use AI to write their scripts, write every single outreach that they're sending on LinkedIn, and we can tell it's AI, okay? It's giving...
A lot of M-dashes.
A lot of M-dashes. Justice for M-dash. I would say let's use it to help us work better and faster. Scheduling more meetings. Let's use it to customize the message you authentically wrote, and making sure that you're using it to tweak the work you're doing, not do the work for you.
Okay, got it.
Oh, this is a good one. Business cards. Do we or don't we need them for networking?
Okay, it's gonna be a no. Let's save a tree. They're so cool and swanky. We're killing trees. No one is keeping them. They're getting thrown out. Instead, go to your LinkedIn app on the search bar. You're gonna see a barcode icon. Click that. That's a scannable barcode. You can add each other on LinkedIn like that. Let's save a tree. Save a tree.
Great.
Now
It's a good one.
I love this. Now, you just mentioned LinkedIn. Like, I think LinkedIn is where everyone thinks about networking for business stuff. But what about other social media?
No, I love this octave we're hitting. Hard no on the socials. Unless their business or their brand is also online, it's a little weird, okay? Yeah. I would say let's keep it to LinkedIn and email, or alternate websites, like if you're a software engineer, GitHub, if you're a writer, Substack. Everything else feels a little bit like we're getting in their personal space.
Okay, good tip. Okay, so staying with LinkedIn, there's actually a feature now that you can add an open to work banner on your photo so that everyone knows that you're job seeking. Seems like it could be good, but is it a good idea when you're networking? Do or don't?
It's a bit of a don't, but again, with a bit of a caveat here. So there's an option for you to turn on your open to work feature. That's something recruiters can see when they're looking for talent. That's good news. My issue is with the banner. I'm pro the banner. Human psychology is anti the banner that says open to work. It's like when you're buying shoes. You want the shoe nobody else has. And human psychology shows us that when someone is advertising that they're looking for work aggressively, recruiters will start to assume, well, I guess no one wants to hire you. Why would I reach out? It's awful, it's evil, it's capitalism. So I would say let's keep it off.
Okay, last question, not a lot of time. After we've connected with someone online or maybe even in real life at an event, when is the right time to follow up and how do we do it?
It's like the golden rule of dating. Give it 3 days, shoot a cheeky little message. It was good to see you. Here's what I like talking with you about. Let's grab a coffee or let's connect in the future.
Great.
Wow, Emily, this was really good.
Thank you. Yeah. We made it work.
I really, really appreciate you coming in and giving us such great tips.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, guys, guess what? We're going to be right back.
Oh, Canada. On The Social, we're talking about what you're talking about.
About the big things
and the small things
that matter to us.
So join us! Weekdays at 2. All right, we had a great segment there on work and networking. Tomorrow on the show, how to recognize the signs and prepare when layoffs are coming. Very timely. Also, what are dirty sodas and why is everyone drinking them out there? Have you heard of dirty sodas?
I hadn't until I knew I was going to be in this segment tomorrow. Have you guys heard of dirty sodas?
Dirty sodas?
Some have. Okay, well, you're going to find out tomorrow.
Yes.
They're not like sexy. Like it's not sex related. Dirty.
No, sorry, Cynthia.
No, let's just say
yes. Yes. Thank you for being here, everybody. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Take care.